All right, hello and welcome. So we actually, let's speed things up a little bit. Or not. All right, we'll do it the slow way. Yes, welcome to the beginning of the actual gameplay of King's Quest IV. There's a few things that we're going to do. We're going to start off by kind of just gathering some supplies, and in order to do that, there's a few timed events. Oh no, we started with Cupid. Good. Or I said timed, that's not quite right. Take bow. Oh. Take bow. Alright, stop doing that. Goodness, this is going well. Can't speak, can't walk, can't type. Alright, so I said timed, that's not quite accurate. Really, it's just that at any point in time, different things might happen on different screens, which is a little annoying at times, but you can certainly get used to it rather quickly. So look at the bow. So we have Cupid's bow. And we can walk around. We see this house, which is a little dangerous of a screen. Bad things can happen there. But we got through okay. If we continue north from here, we find a cute little house. And we're going to begin one of the most bizarrely long cutscenes I've ever seen. So we come in, we see this very messy house, and we're just going to clean. And this is a good 4.5 minutes before we can do anything. We see Rosella tidying up this house, and we take the time to do every bed and put away their clothes. And then we will clear the table, wash all of the dishes, put everything away. Finally, we'll sweep up the entire house. And then the dwarves arrive. They come in one by one. You watch quietly as the dwarves file in one by one. Get a bowl of soup and take a seat at the table. And they do file one by one, each steadily filling their bowl, walking over and sitting down before the next dwarf comes to join, until we have all 7. Not certain exactly what I will do for this video, how far I will get. I always try and balance having things not go too long versus not really having enough in each video, especially for a game like this. This game just doesn't break itself up very well into neat little story packets unless I keep things quite short. But we'll see. I think I know what I'll do. 7 dwarves seem very pleased that you tidied their messy home. One politely asks you your name, you tell him, and he cordially invites you to sit down with them and eat the bowl of soup he got you. Yeah, I missed the line where he seemed like a very hungry dwarf. He got 2 bowls. You seat yourself at the table and begin to eat the surprisingly delicious soup. And now we sit and eat for a while. Do. Yep, just sitting and eating. No reason for this to be as long as it is. I suppose it helps the immersion. The bowl's not gone in just an instant. Time for little men to go back to the mine. And how do you think they file out? All together? No. Still as a group. goodbye and thanks for the soup, you call as they take their leave. Let's probably do a higher pitched Rosella voice, but you finish your soup also. It was the best soup you have ever tasted. Maybe, though, you were just really hungry. We've only been here for like 6 minutes. But that's fine. Actually, a lot of talking I probably could have done about the game in that period. It's kind of an interesting design for the game. I'll clean up these things as well, because at this point, kind of started, might as well finish. It's an interesting design. So Janesta told us in the intro that we have 24 hours before she dies. And while there isn't a 24-hour timer, there is, I think, 6 hours you have to complete the game. And this is the main room of the Seven Dwarves cozy treehouse. Look, table. See a long wooden table. You also notice a blue pouch. Take. Pouch. Look. Pouch. So yeah, we have 6 hours to complete everything in the game, and after a certain period of time, time will advance and it will become nighttime, or if you accomplish enough certain tasks, it will then become nighttime, which is how we are going to advance time. And I'm going to try and walk down this, but I always fall off, which frankly is fine. It's not high enough to hurt you anyway. And I don't think any of these guys will really talk to you except for El Jefe. Talk. Dwarf. You endeavor to engage in conversation with the small men, but they are too busy. Well, they forgot their pouch of diamonds, so let's give them back their pouch. I am in front of the head dwarf. Being an honest person, you offer the forgotten pouch of diamonds to the dwarf. His gruff exterior softens a bit. Nah, you can keep it, he says. We got plenty here. We also got an extra lantern we ain't using. Here, go ahead and take it. The dwarf's gruffness returns as he says, now skedaddle on out of here. I don't know why I thought that was a dwarf voice, but whatever. My voice acting skills are... Oh, that's just annoying. Voice acting skills are less than exemplary, but they'll get the job done. I hope. Alright, let's continue on. Let's walk down here, because this actually might be far enough to kill me. I don't remember, but I don't want to deal with it. Excellent. See the bird pulling at this worm, which is good, because I want this worm. Take worm. Hooray! Now we have a worm. We have trees that will try and kill us. We'll try and avoid those. We're going to avoid the ogre's house, because either the ogre or his wife will try and potentially kill us while we're down there. Oh, you know what? I do need to go somewhere else over here before I continue on. I almost forgot. Well, we can do this for right now. Take... no, wait. Look. Bridge. So if we look under this bridge, we see this. A rustic stone bridge adds a bit of charm to this part of the woods. Look under bridge. You kneel down and peer under the bridge. Aha! You have found a small golden ball. You pick it up and carry it with you. Well, let's see. Let's continue on. We come to this pond. And a lot of these puzzles are often based around various pieces of mythology and fairy tales. I don't know how you're supposed to know to do what you do here. I don't know of any hints within the game, and this is not a fairy tale that I'm familiar with, if it is one. Otherwise, maybe it's just one of those very difficult puzzles that these early games had. But numerous water lilies float serenely upon the lovely little pond nestled in these woods. Atop one of the bigger lily pads, you notice a rather large frog wearing a little gold crown. Let's drop the ball. You accidentally drop the golden ball into the pond. From atop a lily pad, a large green frog leaps into the water and disappears from view. A moment later, the frog emerges with, yes, your lost ball in its mouth. Seems as if the frog is kindly returning your gold ball to you. Oh, that's so cute. Aren't you a sweetheart? And do little mouse clicking. Easier, maybe not. Alright, take frog. Whatever. Alright, apparently I still can't walk. Wow, And squinching up your nose in disgust, you catch the large frog and hold it in your hand. It stares at you with its big, bulgy eyes and wobbles its throat. What do we do with a frog? As a princess, of course, we kiss the frog. You look at the frog's green lips. Mmm, good. You feel silly doing this as you slowly put your mouth against the frog's. Suddenly, the little green frog changes into a handsome prince. Who are you? The prince demands. I thought you were supposed to be a princess. Why, you're nothing more than a peasant girl. You blanch a bit at their remark, but say nothing. Well, ta-da, he says. I'm off. Here, you may keep this. To your surprise, he tosses the little golden crown to you as he takes his leave. Good riddance, you think. So we'll take this crown, and I don't think we need any more, but we will also take the ball, because it's ours now. And so that crown is very interesting. Maybe I'll show it to you now. I don't think that we have a limited number of uses, but no, fire enough. I'll show it to you in a minute. We will come in here, open the door, and we come into this creepy house that actually bears a striking resemblance, in particular these two rooms, to Manannan's house from King's Quest 3. It's like the exact same, almost the exact same layout in the kitchen and this dining room, but obviously this portion of the house is different. I'm not going to go upstairs now, there's nothing to do quite yet, but we will look. Books. You examine the few remaining books on the bookshelves. Only one catches your attention. It is entitled The Complete Works of William Shakespeare. Excellent, we will take that. And let's look at this portrait. We don't really need to do this right now, but might as well. An interesting portrait of a young girl hangs above the fireplace. You gaze at it intently and notice that her eyes seem to stare at the left wall of the parlor. Let's look. Wall. You examine the left wall very closely and notice a little latch. Use latch. Move latch. You flip the latch in the wall and behold, you have discovered a secret door. Come in here and there's a shovel. Let's take it. Take shovel. I'm fairly close to it. Not going to go up those stairs yet. We'll do that later. Much later, actually. And that's actually all we will do in here for the time being. We can come over here and discover that there's an interesting looking tomb. And we'll come down here and see this waterfall, which is where we will again try this, and this time it will actually work. We will wear this crown that our frog Prince was wearing, and we turned into a frog. And that allows us to pass through this waterfall that we otherwise could not do. Feels good to be yourself again. Now, it's actually very easy to miss it, because it kind of blends into the background, frankly, but this brown thing here is a board. So we'll take this board, which neither of these two items we actually need right now. Oh, there's a troll coming. Run away. Yes, you have to be constantly aware of that. But we also have these bones here. We'll take a bone. And then we will leave for now and come back in the future. Very good. Sure. While we're here, why don't we do this? We're going to save because I don't feel like walking off the edge, which we are highly likely to do. And we will get our first introduction to our antagonist. Oh no, Lolotte's goons, which clearly are very reminiscent of the flying monkeys of The Wizard of Oz. Well, my pets, Lolotte hisses, what have you drug home today? Lolotte gives you the once-over, and as she does, her red eyes begin to narrow. Are you a foolish girl who wandered here by mistake, or are you a spy sent here by my enemy Genesta? You swear to Lolotte that you are nothing but a poor peasant girl who has lost her way, but she doesn't seem to believe you, as her mouth begins to snarl, and her eyes narrow to mere slits. For the first time, you experience real fear and begin to tremble. Lolotte snarls. You don't look stupid enough to have wandered here. I believe you're a spy. Good for you, Lolotte. Take her to the cell. Oh no. And you'd imagine that you're supposed to do something here, but nope. Just sit and wait. You can look around at all the wonderful torture devices. Chains, torture rack, whatever this is, where apparently they just left this poor dude hanging until he died and rotted away. There's a nice whip on the wall, but unfortunately it's attached and you can't take it, which really doesn't make any sense because it's clearly not long enough to be of use unless you can take it off, but it is attached. You hear the henchmen returning. Perhaps they're setting you free. Yeah, that seems likely. The henchman motions you to follow him out of the cell. Lolotte gives you a sickly sweet look. You're lucky, my dear, she coos. My precious son, Edgar, has taken a liking to you, and he believes you. He's convinced me to give you a chance to prove your innocence. Oh, that's nice. You glance at the homely young man standing next to Lolotte. He blushes. Oh, he's sweet. Lolotte continues, I wish to own the unicorn that inhabits the Meadowland. We briefly saw that unicorn. Bring me the unicorn, and I shall not only set you free, but reward you as well. To her henchmen, Lolotte orders, Go, take her back to the forest. Well, well, well. Isn't this an interesting turn of events? Now we have a clear quest that has been set for us. How to achieve our goal, we don't yet know. How are we going to capture a unicorn? Something tells me he's not just going to come because we ask him. Or her, I don't know. I don't know if it's a male or female unicorn. Mysteries abound. But there is someone who, let's see, look, unicorn. You see a beautiful wild unicorn in the meadow. Its coat is dapple gray, and its wonderful horn shines like gold. The unicorn shies at your approach and trots away. Well, it's going to make things difficult. I wonder how we can woo this unicorn. Can we trick it? I don't know. This is another one of those times. I really don't like things like this where people just are there or not there. In a game like this where you're just constantly searching for what to do next, and it's like, oh, that screen's empty, there's nothing there. Unless maybe there is. It annoys me. You say hello to the minstrel who looks at you in surprise. Well, well, who do we have here? He asks. You introduce yourself as Rosella. Hello, Rosella, the minstrel says. Let me play for you one of my favorite tunes. And he begins to play an old ballad. Unfortunately, it appears that his musical skills are quite limited as he plunks and pings his way through an otherwise beautiful song. Which really doesn't sound too bad to us, but we'll trust Rosella's ear. Maybe we can offer him a different career path. Man, book. Yes, I do. Look. Did I not take the book? That was foolish. My bad. But a mistake that is easily remedied. But not if we mistype. You remove the Shakespeare book from the shelf and carry it with you. But yeah, I've just always disliked those things where if it's one thing, it's just, after the first time you're there, they're there every time or something like that. But when it's just very random, I'm not the biggest fan. For a little more consistency. Give man book. You hand the Shakespeare book to the minstrel. Curiously, he opens it and begins to read aloud, first hesitantly, then with increased forcefulness as he begins to get into it. Suddenly he stops and looks at you. This is wonderful, he exclaims. This gives me a new lease on life. No longer am I a mere minstrel. Now I will become a famous actor, to be or not to be. How's that? He then gives you his lute, bids you farewell, and wanders off to stardom. Well, that's nice. We gained a new lute and helped a man find his calling in life. Hopefully. Either way, we still got a lute. But now we have a lute, and I don't actually have a use for that either. Look. You have entered a shady wooded area with many birds calling from the many trees. You notice a pool in the distance to the north. Look. Fawn? Look. Creature. See a lively creature who is at the same time both man and goat. He is a satyr, and his name is Pan. He seems to be greatly enjoying his flute music. Play lute. So this is Pan from Greek mythology. Pan has ceased his dancing and now looks at you and the lute curiously. Give lute. Okay, Pan gratefully accepts your gift of the lute, and in return he gives you his flute. Happy now, he dances away with it. Oh, look at that. We've made another trade, which seems completely meaningless and ultimately is extremely important. Alrighty. So now we will go on further adventure. We can come in here, but I won't yet because for some reason you can't handle things that way. Instead, you have to talk to the man here. Say a few words to the old fisherman. However, he must have other things on his mind as he seems to ignore you. And we'll just wait a minute. You can try this. Man, pouch. Huh, apparently he doesn't want it. Interesting. Well, maybe he has other things he wants to talk about once we head inside. Open door. Okay. And we'll head inside. We see the wife, I think, maybe kneading dough, washing dishes. Look, woman. Poor and tattered woman kneads bread dough on the counter. She looks very tired and a little grumpy. Talk, woman. You say hello to the poor woman with little patience. She responds, "What are you doing in here, young lady? Can't you see I'm busy? We have enough problems without worrying about you." All right. Talk, man. Anything else to say once you're inside? Talk to the grizzled fisherman as he sits at the table. Sighing, he tells you, "Them fish ain't been biting lately. If things don't get better soon, I don't know what to do." Well, how about now I give you the couch, now that you're inside, and somehow that works better. You offer the pouch of diamonds to the fisherman, who takes it gladly. "Wife, give the girl my fishing pole in trade," tells his tired wife. Obediently, she retrieves the pole and hands it to you. "Thank you very much," she said, smiling. "You have certainly helped us." That seems reasonable. A fishing pole in exchange for a bag of diamonds. Granted, we got the diamonds for cleaning someone's house once, but still. Oops. It's not actually a problem. In fact, it's something we want to do in a minute, but I want to do something else first. Put worm on hook. Maybe the reason you couldn't. Scrunching up your delicate nose, you gingerly bait the hook of the fishing pole with the large earthworm. Maybe the reason he couldn't catch anything is because he just didn't have any good bait. Let's just fish. Eagerly, from the end of the pier, you fling the baited line of the fishing pole into the ocean. Nothing. And we'll just try again. Another thing I dislike, I mean, in a way, I guess it makes sense with fishing. It's an art that involves a great deal of patience, but this sort of implies to me that, like, oh, this is the wrong thing to do. You have to think of something else. This isn't working. Almost immediately, you feel a sharp tug on the line. Something pulls and fights your line as you slowly reel it in. There it is. You have caught yourself a fine, fat fish. Alright, now we're going to go for a little swim. And hopefully not be assaulted by anything untoward. And as we continue onward, we come to what actually is Genesta's island. And we can go see and visit her, but it won't because there's just no reason to right now. She can't talk to you. She's too sick. You see the azure ocean stretching in front of you as you stand on the beach of this marvelous island. Behind you, set amidst a beautiful garden, rises a splendid ivory palace. How about look round? Something catches your eye. Why? It's a beautiful peacock feather. Take feather. Excellent. And now we are just going to leave. Very important that you get that item before this next event occurs. Oh, and a shark ate me. Should have saved it before I was over there, or while I was over there, before I got back in the ocean, but that's fine. So yes, very important that you get this peacock feather. I think that the sort of next event that occurs can happen before you get the feather. And it will occur, the feather be in different locations, but I'm not certain if this next event will happen, even if you haven't gotten the feather. I'm afraid I just don't know. So we're looking for something in particular, and it's not a shark. But the more time we spend out in the water, the more of a risk we have of running into said shark. There we go. That's what we want. Let's go visit this nice, friendly whale who's gonna probably just, have a chat with us like Dory. Or not. Horrors! You have been swallowed by a huge whale. Phew, this place stinks. So let's come over here. I see this little bottle floating around. Take bottle. Okay. Look. Bottle. Glass bottle. Open. Bottle. Looks like there's a note in there. You open the glass bottle and retrieve the imprisoned note. Read note. Help me, I'm lost at sea in King's Quest 3. I'm with a bunch of nasty pirates who want to feed me to the sharks. If you can, come quick. So that's obviously a message from Alexander in King's Quest 3, rather. Just a cute little Easter egg. Look. Skeleton. Skeleton of an unlucky man. Let's call him James. Rests atop the wreckage of a small boat. James, yes. Let's look. Mouth. The whale's throat and mouth are enormous, huge teeth, a great tongue, and yes, even a large uvula. What's that, you say? Well, suffice it to say, it looks like a big punching bag and hangs down from the top of the throat. Say, you learn something new every day. All right. So we're going to save again, and in order to escape from here, we have to navigate the whale's mouth enough to be able to get to this uvula. And this is a really, really fun thing to do. Actually, it's not that hard, but I'll just save repeatedly so I don't have to bother just in case I did fall. And let's try to hit the uvula. You strike the large uvula, punching bag looking thingy, but nothing happens. How about we tickle the uvula? Take our peacock feather. You frantically tickle the throat of the whale with the big peacock feather. You begin to feel a quiver under your feet, which quickly turns into a mighty tremble. Suddenly you hear a thunderous "Achoo!" and you are swept out of the whale's mouth in a tremendous wave of ocean water. Again, you find yourself swimming in the ocean. I feel like maybe the might have made more sense to perhaps require light a fire, a la Pinocchio, but who knows. You have found yourself stranded again upon a desert island. Also, it seems, have others before you. Now, what are you going to do, Rosella? How about we look at the boat? Looks as if many an unlucky sailor has been stranded here. You see a glint coming from one of the wrecked boats on the beach. Where's this glint? Look. Glint. Look. Ground. There we go. You look at the ground inside the wrecked boat. What is this? Why, it's a golden bridle. Pick it up and carry it with you. How about this? Hello, look, bird. Pelican visits you on this desert island. Give bird fish. We make the bird our friend. Maybe he can get us help. You throw the stinky dead fish to the pelican. Greedily, he catches it in his large bill. As he does so, you notice something shiny fall from his bill onto the ground. Look, ground. See a shiny whistle lying on the ground. Take whistle. Of course, we're not close enough. And let's blow the whistle. A lot of very fortunate coincidences happen to occur together. You put the shiny silver whistle to your lips and forcefully blow into it, producing a loud tweet. To your astonishment, a friendly dolphin appears just offshore and jabbers excitedly at you. Huh, all right. Let's hang out with the dolphin. Ride, dolphin. The dolphin saved the day. It's also not the first time we've ridden a dolphin. And yet, I'm pretty okay with that fact. Alright, well, we will swim ourselves back up onto land. And I think we will... Now, let's see if we can find our unicorn. And once I do, I think I will end things there. Is this the screen he appears on? I can't remember. It's just south of the scene with the stump. No, not here. Probably appears on multiple screens, but... Nope. We'll just keep trying until there we go. Alright. So, hopefully he'll be here as we walk down. Nope. And so yes, we'll just keep walking on and off of the screen until the unicorn finally returns, which is silly and frustrating. And apparently can be more time consuming than I anticipated. How unfortunate. This is the last thing I'm planning on doing before this video ends. If we don't get success in the next 30 seconds or so, I might just wander along off screen and restart the next video once I have found the unicorn, but there's really no reason why it shouldn't just be popping up right now. Odd. Well, I think that's fine. We will restart the next video with the unicorn on screen, and from there we will find out how we can befriend the unicorn and bring the unicorn with us to our new friend, the lovely and delightful Lolotte. Oh, maybe we'll do things here. Let's shoot the unicorn with Cupid's arrow. You aim one of Cupid's golden arrows toward the beautiful unicorn. You let go of the bowstring, zing, bullseye. This is one of at least 2 items in the game where you have a limited number of uses, and if you misfire a single time with either of those items, you lose, and you do not know that until you get to the point where you simply cannot move forward in the game. The magnificent unicorn is no longer afraid of you. It is now your friend. Let's pet the unicorn. You gently stroke the velvety soft nose of the unicorn. It seems as if you have made a friend, Rosella. Very nice. Let's ride the unicorn. Wow, unicorn. You would not do you any good, as you could mount the unicorn, but could not guide it. Well, luckily we found that golden bridle on the beach. But I think we will end things here, and when we come back, we will try out this golden bridle and see how things go with Lolotte. Maybe we'll get our wonderful reward. But until then, bye.